Warriors? The Orlando Magic?
Jrue Holiday's an MF.
What?
Jrue Holiday's a motherfucker.
Jrue Holiday's that motherfucker.
This dude decides to drop 37 points last night against my fantasy basketball team. Fuck off.
You want to hear something? He's averaging 29 a game basically since Giannis has been hurt.
Yeah, when's Giannis coming back? I need this man back if I want any type of hope in fantasy. He's dropping like 37 point, almost triple doubles. I think he had a 40-point double Monday.
So, is Jrue Holiday the most underrated player in the NBA?
Whoa. I mean, logically, that doesn't sound far off, just off the dome. I mean,
I just think it's what Jrue Holiday is doing this season. Like right now, he posted 35 or something against the Pacers, then drops 37. Yeah, over the last 4 games, Holiday has averaged 27.3 points and 9.8 assists.
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck. Good for him, though.
I just think it goes to show like how underrated Jrue Holiday is. I still think, and for his career, he's arguably been one of, if not the best perimeter defender at the point guard position. He's a guy who was originally a shooting guard who became a point guard, and it's just fantastic. Like, let's be honest, this team wouldn't have won a championship without Jrue Holiday.
Yeah. I think he's awesome. I don't think he's quite like a second option like last year. That kind of didn't work out in the playoffs, but he's like
I think in the regular season, he's a second option.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And, maybe one day he could get to the second option. I don't need him to be a second option. I don't need him to be a 25-point per game scorer every night. I just need him to be my point guard, giving me reasonable everything and chipping away, and that's exactly what he does. And if Jrue Holiday's your third best player, you're one of the best teams in the league, if not the best roster, best starting five in the whole league. So, and it translates pretty well to their record usually. So they're really good, and he's really good. And Cyro's gone. I got to blow my nose, but fantasy purposes, don't play this dude right now.
Dude, so I just think it's crazy to see, like, right now, this team is a Brook Lopez, Jrue Holiday-led machine.
And Bobby Portis. Don't forget about Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis is getting snubbed in the 6 minutes.
Too. This guy's Bobby Portis is averaging a double-double this
year. Off the bench.
It's insane.
And he's not even like being mentioned as like a top 3 6-man of the year candidate.
Nobody's talking about Bobby Portis. It doesn't fit the narrative. Right?
I know. It's honestly ridiculous. Like, I'm actually so glad you said that. I've made like multiple videos on Bobby Portis, but like they don't do well. So like I've like stopped talking about it as much. But Bobby Portis.
All right, fine. I'll just F off.
Yeah, I literally. But Bobby Portis out here averaging 2 assists, 10 rebounds, 14 points, 50% from the field, and 32% from 3. Like a double-double in 26 minutes a night. Like, he's putting up better stats in less minutes than last year.
Yeah. He's really good right now. And I think people will finally start to realize that once we get into the playoffs. It's still mid-January. No one really is thinking about it, anything like that. Bobby was okay for us. He was above. I think he did more than he had to. But yeah,
he was okay for us too.
Nowhere near this level of dominance. And this man is a superstar stud right now off the bench. So they're pretty good.
Dude, I think the interesting part about it is, okay, we brought this up. Do you think this is obviously this team's better with Chris Middleton, but do you think they move on from Chris Middleton?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. Jesus, guys taking dick pics. I think if they win, no. I mean, if they got bounced early, he might leave them. I mean, he might leave them regardless, just because of financial test new water type thing.
I just think like if a team comes out of nowhere, like the Indiana Pacers, who like think they're like ready to like go to the next step, and they're like, "Hey, Chris Middleton, we want you to be the guy next to Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin. Here's 45 million over 4 years, like so that's like 180 million over 4 years."
Yeah, that's the issue is he already has a ring, so he
That's
might
what,
be more
yeah.
enticed like Caruso to, or I guess the Lakers screwed him over, but
I'm trying to think of an example of someone who did that, but like to have his own team to be the top dog for like a couple seasons.
yeah, like Kyrie.
Yeah, Kyrie, great example. Kyrie, like to get out under LeBron's shadow, kind of like Chris Middleton. Like
Yeah,
he's got the ring. He's like, look, he's a Hall of Famer already. I mean, the NBA's Hall of Fame's like easy to get into, but I think this is something he could go for legacy building. He's like, look, this is a young team. I would love to help the Pacers return to contention.
yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Chris Middleton was completely fine being with Giannis and
Oh
Jrue
no,
Holiday.
I wouldn't either, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, hey, I got offered 4 years, 180 million from the Pacers. He got, and then the Bucks come back to him and they're like, that's nice, and we really like you, but we can only offer you 4 years, 160. Like we don't value you that much.
Cool.
Do you leave the 20 million on the table? That's you know what I mean? Because you
probably
see.
not.
Because everyone, yeah, exactly. Because everyone,
Especially with these injuries this year, maybe he's thinking, all right, I gotta.
It's like all the guys with the Supermax. Who the fuck's gonna leave the 215 million on the table for the 184 million dollar contract? Yeah, Levine. What was it? He could sign 188 million for 4 years with any other team, but he could sign 5 years, 220 with like the Bulls.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
Levine
do?
to the Lakers.
Like, are you fucking stupid? Are you really like the Bradley Beal thing? You thought Bradley Beal was gonna give up 100?
Oh, that's right.
Like Bradley Beal was like 194 years, and then 5 years, 250. Like,
yeah.
What do you do? Let's be honest.
I'm out of here, Washingtons.
Really, you know what I mean? And plus, like Bradley, that's the other thing. You bring up a great point, and part of the reason why Bradley Beal has stayed in Washington is not everywhere. It's hard to find a place where you're wanted. Bradley Beal has said this a lot. He loves being in Washington because he's the face of the franchise. He's wanted there. Like they constantly, you know what I mean? And I think that's, obviously that could be something that, Chris Middleton stays because he enjoys being wanted. But also, Milwaukee can pay him more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Now, you know who's fucking back?
Tiger Woods.
Is he actually?
I think he's kind of been back.
Well, but okay, so Michael Porter Jr., quick question, not Michael Porter Jr., but that's who we are going to be talking about. But Tiger Woods, before we actually talk about that, he was like on a mini comeback before he got it. He drove off the cliff, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember correctly.